Do you think the administration should allow open spaces for it, or do you think that that would kind of defeat the purpose? Maybe this building is free for collaborative tagging or painting or
I
drawing.
like that.
You'd
I
like that?
would, yeah. Um, isn't that what the art building is? No?
I feel like I kind of lost a memory before I was able to record it. It was like very, I know one for me in the girls' bathroom. This is really weird, but in the girls' bathroom there was a lot of conversations and stuff, and they were really funny and really weird and kind of dark. And I would like remember seeing them every day. And like one day I was like, I want to put that into a painting. So I went in there to photograph it, and it was like gone. And I was like, shit, that's like a whole part now. I feel like it was like a reminder of memories. Just like I associated it with being in the building and what I was doing at certain times in the building. It just because it's visual, and now it almost felt like I lost that like marker of association.
Feeling a similar loss staring at all these white walls, I had to ask myself, what exactly is graffiti? I reached out for an official response, but it soon became clear that no one at the university particularly wanted to talk to me about what they were spending $100,000 to $200,000 a year trying to clean up. As my investigation continued, I started to see it everywhere. On the ground, trash cans, manhole covers, and fire hydrants. I already felt particularly biased when I started this investigation, and since nobody at the department wanted to talk to me, I decided to let my fellow students have a say. My first stop, Kroeber Hall. As I panned from the fresh paint to the dilapidated sculptures from last year piled into one from this semester, I had to wonder if the students really felt listened to.
Would you support more open forums on campus for that kind of work?
I mean, I feel like it kind of depends because like if there's a designated place where people are allowed to do that, that's not necessarily open.
If it's like pre-established and it's growing, I don't think it should be censored. I think it's already happened, so it might as well add to it.
To some extent, I feel like once it's allowed, it loses what it was all about in the first place. You know, like it is kind of a radical medium. It is kind of like anti-establishment, anti what is like limiting in the establishment, right?
Yeah.
And so like I feel like now if the administration was like, okay, now this is allowed, we're allowing this. There's always first of all going to be borders and boundaries, which is weird, and it just kind of feels creepy that they're like, here's this space that you guys are allowed to make art in. We already have those spaces. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That it would just be extension from our campuses, basically.
Right.
And so I think that it would lose why it was like necessary then. So I do prefer more of a take of like either it being a battle, which is really sad and it sucks, but that is street art, right?
Sure.
Or just administration looking the other way and not caring so much about what people are seeing on Calso because they painted it for Calso. That's that's the impression I got. So not caring so much about what it's going to be implying to students at Calso. I think that if you're caring about what it's implying at Calso, it's implying something pretty cool about the department.
Do you feel like there's a space here on campus that's like a public forum for art? Do you feel like it's mostly in studio?
There's not really. The department's really small, it's really underfunded, there's not a lot of space, there's no social space, but I don't necessarily think that differs that much from a lot of the different majors on campus.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, do you remember any like the artwork that was in there? What was your favorite part?
I liked that it was always changing. Everybody was kind of always adding to each other's ideas. So it would like start out with something, and then the next day you would see that someone edited it a little bit. You know, it was almost like I don't know. It was almost like appropriating and building on images.
Yeah.
So it was really nice to see how that kind of like organically developed through like the artists in the art department.
Yeah.
I love how collage it becomes. It's like multiple layers of used paint and like earth coming from outside, and then another student comes out with some more paint. It's just layers and layers of like history of the culture at Berkeley and the culture in the studio.
I'm not really sure where to draw that line, I guess. Because, like, whatever, I guess the only thing that I would think of as being, like, tagging that wasn't beneficial is something that's, like, promoting gangs or violence or, like, hate speech, and I didn't see any of that. So I necessarily didn't really see anything that I thought of as not being art.
I think of the bathrooms are like the big spot, like everywhere.
They can't see everywhere. They can't be everywhere. They're not this omnipresent force. And where this art flourishes, I think, are in like secret areas.
These ladies were onto something. The bathrooms, lockers, and most inaccessible areas all seemed to yield the best results. However, I was not prepared for my investigatory fury to turn into a love affair with one of the pieces. As I stared into those eyes, I could feel the presence of the artist and didn't want them to leave.
And perhaps this right here is a mark of the artist saying, we belong here, this is our territory. And you can paint over it, but it'll probably just appear again. White is like the easiest surface to paint onto. If you don't want artists to paint on it, you should paint it like puke green. Or no, green's like easy to paint with too. Like orange, I hate orange.
It appeared that the administration in Kroeber had already taken Michelle's advice. I tried to find some creative middle ground for this radical element here at Berkeley, and decided I needed to seek some outside counsel.
Would you consider either one of them to be like radical institutions?
Berkeley or Mills?
Yeah.
Mills, definitely. Berkeley, I think, like, traditionally when I think of it, yes, but, like, not really, no. I think of it more so as, like, a very competitive, like, math science-oriented, like, research-heavy institution that just, like, happened to be in Berkeley in the 60s and, like, can kind of, like, piggyback on, like, radicalism that existed here, but isn't really...
Okay. The graffiti at Mills versus the graffiti here at Berkeley.
I don't know. I don't really think of, like, I see some windows scratched, but there's not really graffiti at Berkeley. In Mills, it's kind of like the walls are somewhat of an open format for all of that, like whether it be a bathroom or just like a passing hallway or whatever. It's pretty covered. Obviously, like pros and cons, but for the most part, people are pretty respectful and it's open. And I don't know. I don't really notice a culture of that here. So yeah.
Do they offer like an open space, or is it kind of anything goes?
It's a little anything goes. Like, for example, though, like the seniors are given a wall every year where they're allowed to paint and write whatever they want on it, and it stays up for the whole year, and then it's taken down the next group of seniors. But otherwise, like, I knew girls that were like wheat pasting pictures of vaginas all over campus, and they weren't taking it down. So, if that's indicative of a school culture, like, I don't know what else is.
It started to make sense. We weren't lacking good policy, but an active culture that keeps redefining exactly what respect looks like.
This looks like a